Okay. So, for my first question is just, what does activism mean to you? And just, the follow up question after that is, and how has your artwork shown that through? So,
Activism to me is paying attention socially to what's going on in the world, and my cultural background as a Jew has really focused on giving back to people and helping other people in a variety of different ways. Um, how that activism plays out is in a lot of different ways. Um, I grew up in a family where my parents were very active in really expressing, protesting, fighting social issues that didn't work for everybody. Everything from um, racial integration in the schools to really poverty and working towards allowing people in poverty to be able to have resources that they wouldn't normally have. And I grew up in a time that was really volatile also. So between my parents' activism and them kind of including us, in the point of view that you're really there. I mean, we're really here to help others. We're here to be in service, right? To those things that don't work for everybody together. So to me, that's what activism is really about.
and then the follow up question to that was, and how has your artwork or anything that you've done shown that, like activism?
Oh, interesting question. I think I've always strove or strived to be, the kind of artist that found meaning in my work
Mm-hmm.
that spoke about, that level of social injustice or the discourse that I have found, in my life in certain areas, even in dance, as I was I've danced from a very small, age all the way up through professional dance as a young adult. And I was involved with dance companies, dance groups, dance studios that really offered equitable kinds of education for me so that I was not isolated in the creation of my artwork, but I was with a variety of different people that had that level of diversity that I was striving for. And the businesses that I was involved with dance really kind of looked to that same kind of approach, just like equity and access in dance classes, as well as in performing. A lot of our performers and performances were fundraisers that really kind of raised funds for others in need, while we were expressing ourselves and putting our art out in the world. Later, as an adult, and especially at Inner City Arts, as I really kind of worked more in visual art and, more tactile arts, very much into collage, mosaic, anything I could do with my hands. Knitting, crocheting, I make jewelry, all of that was really like, what kinds of ways can I share what I make, on a social platform that's going to have a voice in some way
Mm-hmm.
to be able to talk about something other than just the art, right? It always was a bigger picture for me to express myself, in terms of how I was in that kind of social fabric and social network, and how I really saw, the level of inequity and injustice in different areas. So again, it's like a lot of the sharing of that work at Inner City Arts in particular was under the auspices of, yeah, can I help that? Can I help that cause, right? Through the making of
Okay. Alright. So, for my second question, so what has inspired you to go into the to the arts field of dance and art and everything like that?
Well, I'm a mover, so
Mm-hmm.
so I constantly, will express myself, through physical activity of any kind, not just dance. But I think that I really saw how expressing myself through dance, in particular, helped me be in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So I really saw that that was like an avenue for so many more people, and especially young people, in particular children and youth, that just didn't have that opportunity. And when I saw in particular, the way that kids were being educated by sitting in seats, right, in classrooms, and only being taught one way, and they were natural movers and they weren't allowed to be able to move to learn, right? I kind of really put it together. It's like went back to school for my graduate degree in dance education in particular, and taught dance for years because it was such an avenue to engage lots and lots of children in being able to express themselves.
Okay, so for my final question, what is your greatest achievement that you've done through the arts that you've done through the years, basically? Does it make sense? Oh.
I have to say one of my greatest achievements, and also because it's I'm in a time right now where I'm kind of looking back on this career at Inner City Arts. I would have to say it's being able to take Inner City Arts as a very grassroots organization in the 90s and grow it to the size and scope and the magnitude of what it is today. And for it to be able to be involved in that growth, right, over almost 30 years has been an amazing achievement to me and an amazing experience, because it's just really allowed me to see, as the environment changes, as people grow, as people come in and out of the doors of Inner City Arts, how wonderful of an organization it was that's been so flexible and nimble to be able to change with the times, to be able to grow, and serve more people, but to be able to create a place where a lot of people who work there also feel like it's a family and really feel like the work they're doing is very meaningful.
Okay. So thank you for this
You're
interview.
welcome. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.